Hello Mandela class, welcome to your fourth maths lesson of this week. Before we move on to today's lesson, I'm just going to give you some feedback and go over what we spoke about in the live session. Some of you said that you struggled a little bit with the method. What we were doing was using column multiplication to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number where an exchange is required. And one of you said that you struggled with the last question of activity 3, which is 48 times 4. So I'm going to go over that and speak about the method again. So 48 times 4 we're going to represent as column multiplication. Where would I write the number 4 that I'm multiplying by? Underneath the ones column, because 4 represents ones. So 48 times 4. Then what would I start multiplying first? My ones column. What's 4 times 8? If you know your 4 times table, you would know it's 32, but you could also use your 2 times table to help you. If you know 2 times 8 equals 16, what could you do with that answer to get the answer to 4 times 8? You could double 16, which would equal 32. Now, can I squeeze a 2-digit number in the ones column? Can I have 32 in the ones column? No, because the tens belongs in the tens column. So I've exchanged the tens into the tens column. So 32, I can keep the ones in the ones column, and I've exchanged the 3 tens into the tens column. I'm just going to erase this so it doesn't get confusing. Okay. Then I can move on to multiplying my tens. So 4 multiplied by the tens this time, and I'm going to write my answer in the tens column because I'm multiplying it by the tens. What's 4 times 4? 16. I can't forget the 3 that I've already exchanged into the tens column. So what's 16 plus 3? 19. Now, can I squeeze 19 into the tens column? No, it's a 2-digit number. So I can keep the 9 in the tens column and exchange the 1, which would represent 100 because we're talking about 19 tens because it's in the tens column. And 19 tens is 190. So I've kept the 9 tens or the 90 in the tens column, and the 100 has been exchanged into the hundreds column. Now I can see whether I've got any hundreds to multiply. I've got 4 here, but do I have any hundreds to multiply? No. So nothing plus 1 equals 1. So 48 times 4 equals 192. Okay, let's move on to today's lesson where your learning objective is: can I divide 2-digit numbers by a 1-digit number by partitioning into tens and ones and sharing into equal groups? So we've looked at multiplying 2-digit numbers and a 1-digit number. Today we're moving on to dividing. So I've shown you something here. How could we use, I was meant to cover it, but I forgot, which is fine. How could we use pictorial representation to solve 68 divided by 2? What's happened here? Pause the video and have a look at what we've done here. Okay, so we had 68, 2, 4, 6 tens, which represents 60, and 2, 4, 6, 8 ones, which altogether represents 68. Then we wanted to divide it by 2. So how many equal groups have we had? 2 equal groups. So how have they divided it by 2? Well, they've divided the tens in between 2 equal groups. So they've put 1 10 here and 1 10 here. I'll cross it out as we do it. So one of them has gone here, one of them has gone here, another one has gone here, and another one has gone here, and one more has gone here, and the last one has gone here. So they've divided all the tens into 2 equal groups, and they've done the same with the ones by sharing them equally between the 2 groups one by one. Now we want to look at a different method. We want to see how we could use, which I have forgotten to change here. Okay, so we want to use a part-whole model to help us solve this calculation. The calculation is 63 divided by 3. How could we partition this calculation into tens and ones? Have a look here. What's happened? What have we done? Well, the number we want to divide by 3 is 63. So what's happened here? I have got 60 divided by something and 3 divided by something. So how have I used partitioning? I've partitioned the number 63 into tens. How many tens do we have? 6. What's the value of 6 tens? 60. Get 6 fingers up and count them in tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we've got 6 tens, and I've partitioned the other part into 3 ones. So, because we've got 3 ones in the number 63. So what are they going to be divided by? Well, the number 63 is divided by 3, so the tens is going to be divided by 3. And the ones is also going to be divided by 3. How could we then represent this using our place value grid to get the answer? So we're going to start by dividing the tens first. How many tens do we have? I'm going to label the number 63 tens and ones. So how many tens do we have? We've got 6 tens. So let's start by dividing our tens. We've got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I divided them one by one because we may not be sure how many we need in each group. So I've done 60 divided by 3. I now need to divide my ones into my 3 equal groups because it's being divided by 3. So how many ones do I have? 3, which I'm going to divide into 3 equal groups. 1, 2, 3. So now I've successfully partitioned my number into tens and ones and divided the tens by 3 and then divided the ones by 3. So if you look at each individual group, how many do we have in each group? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so we had 63. We divided that number by 3 by partitioning it into tens and ones. And we saw that we have 10, 20, 21 in this group. We also have 10, 21 in this group and 21 in this group. So we've got 21 in each group. So 63 divided by 3 equals 21. Now, on your scrap piece of paper, can you have a go at completing this calculation? 96 divided by 3. First, put it in a part-whole model. Then partition it into tens and ones, which would go here, and have a go at representing this pictorially to find the answer. Play the video when you're ready. Okay, so how many tens do we have in the number 96? We've got 9 tens, and how many ones do we have? 6. So now we want to partition this calculation into tens and ones. We've got 9 tens. What's the value of 9 tens? Get 9 fingers up and count your 9 fingers in tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 9 tens represents 90. And what are we dividing 90 by? We're dividing it by 3. And how many ones do we have? 6 ones. And what are we dividing our 6 ones by? By 3 as well. So now, instead of doing 96 divided by 3 all at once, I'm doing 90 divided by 3 and 6 divided by 3. I've partitioned it into tens and ones. Okay, now let me start representing this pictorially in my place value grid. How do I divide 90 divided by 3? Well, it goes in the tens column, and I've got my 3 equal groups. So let's start counting in tens and see when we've reached 90. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I've divided 90 into 3 equal groups. 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. Now I'm going to divide 6 ones by 3. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've divided 6 ones into my 3 equal groups. Now let's see how many we've got in each group. We have got 1 group here and 1 group here. So I'm looking at the rows as groups. So pause the video and count how many there are in each group. We had 96 divided by 3. And I can see that I've got 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 32 in this group, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32 in this group, and 10, 20, 30, 31, and 32 in this group. So 96 divided by 3 equals 32. Okay, now it's your turn to choose the activity that is best suited for you. So, Vihan uses place value counters to solve 84 divided by 2. And you can see Vihan's method here. He has drawn 2 equal groups because he's dividing by 2. And then he's divided the tens equally into the 2 groups and then the ones. Do this activity if you feel like this activity is best suited for you, and use Vihan's method to complete these calculations. Maisie uses a place value grid and a part-whole model to solve 66 divided by 3, which we just looked at. So she has partitioned 66 into tens and ones and divided each of them by 3 individually. So use Maisie's method to calculate these calculations if you feel like that's best suited for you. Then you can move on to question number 3 and have a look at Alex's method. So choose either activity 1 or activity 2 or activity 3. Oh no, the activity 3 is a bit of a challenge, and then you've got an extension at the end if you want to challenge yourself even more. But choose either between Vihan's method or Maisie's method, okay? I will see you in the next video, but please make sure you also let me know if you struggled with something in the next live chat so that I can address your misconceptions and help you with what you found difficult. I will see you in the next video, Mandela class. Well done. Bye.